You had the outer chamber. You had all these layers to the temple. And here's Jesus, and he walks in, as just as Sister Anita says, they're not outside. They're actually in the temple with the sheep and the oxen and messes everywhere. And, you know, you got people cheating people out of their money. We would be angry, wouldn't we? What if we walked in here, whoever is that opens up the building first on Sunday morning, and we walk in here and we got people all in here, and there's, you know, we got people's dogs and people's got animals, and, you know, they're basically up here. We've changed this all out, and this is an auctioneer's, you know, got an auctioneer, and we're running cattle. I mean, what in the world is going on here? So it is a crazy, crazy scene. It says Jesus then goes, and I find it interesting that Jesus is a man of systematic action, in that he doesn't just all of a sudden, if he'd wanted to, he could have really cleaned that temple out, couldn't he? Y'all think really, really set an example. If he'd have wanted to, I mean, he could have just literally Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of thing. I mean, it could have been, but no. He takes the time to create, in essence, a whip. Have you ever thought about that? That he didn't just quickly respond in anger. He took the time to fashion a whip, and then he takes the whip, and then he takes care of business. It's unusual for us to think about Jesus doing something like this, because all we think about Jesus is a man of kindness. In the Gospels, mentions this early on in Jesus' ministry. We do have it recorded in other Gospels, but it's mentioned towards the back of the Gospels. So, I mean, it's just for you to think about. It's not worth really talking. But some theologians believe that it could have possibly happened another time if we look at it chronologically. Now, thinking about the idea of this temple and what Jesus, another lesson we can learn is if we get down into the Corinthian letter, well, but also we can look at this as an example to us to help us understand the importance of our temple when we read it as a body. When we read our body is a temple. Someone help me out here. Let's turn to 1 Corinthians 2, comparing it to this event that takes place in John. It might give us a whole fresh perspective on how important this scripture